commodities review for the 20th of March 2015, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities markets. We'll be looking at the top trades of the week, covering live market commentary and technical analysis. And of course, we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So let me firstly introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. So the Gold and Silver Club, we are commodities trading experts. The Gold and Silver Club is an international commodities trading research and advisory group specializing in precious metals, energies and agricultural markets. The Gold and Silver Club is recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodity markets. As internationally respected commodity experts, the group's analysis and opinions on the commodity markets are routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review, and the Wall Street Journal, to name a few. The Gold and Silver Club has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 50,000 private and institutional clients worldwide. For further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do go to our website at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so that's a bit of background on the Gold and Silver Club for you. We'll just move over and have a look at the gold price at the moment. We're currently trading at $1,173 an ounce. So we're off the weekly highs, about 300 points off the weekly lows at the moment, which we saw coming down to test just shy of 1140 prior to the FOMC statement on Wednesday. So before we go into technical analysis, we'll look at the top trades of the week. Now, we still have trades running at the moment from the FOMC announcement. So I'll talk you through trades that we've actually banked so far. So this week, we've had a lovely sell short opportunity on Brent Crude Oil. That was a sell off a break of a nice support zone. The risk on the trade, 180 points for 360 points profit for a 2-to-1 for a nice sell on Brent Crude Oil. The agricultural market, especially the grains, have broken down very well. We discussed this on last week's FX Street presentation with you all. The risk to reward on this trade was a 3-to-1. So we had a risk on the trade was 60 points for or a profit of 180 points for a 3-to-1. You can see on corn we finally broke through that pennant, sold off significantly, and it delivered a very nice profit. And we also had a very similar breakdown on soybeans as well. So the risk on the trade, 100 points, the profit on the trade, 270 points, and we just over a 2.5-to-1 risk to reward. So we've had some lovely trades on the agricultural markets this week, and we've also got some good trades running at the moment on the precious metals, which I'll talk you through next. So what we'll do now, we'll go over to the live technicals and we'll take a look at how the commodities are developing today. Okay, so first of all, I will move you over and we'll have a look at, initially I want to show you the US dollar index here. Okay, so the US dollar index, we had a very significant breakdown after the FOMC statement on Wednesday, followed by a capitulation, a big retracement to the upside. So this was an incredible candle. It's the biggest move in 6 years on the US dollar here. As we had roughly from high to low here, a 500-point move on the US dollar index. So it was a huge breakdown in price here as we sold off after the FOMC statement. However, we very quickly retraced, and you can see the US dollar has managed to retrace most of its losses here. It's almost back up to the highs before the FOMC statement. It's retraced about 460 points here. So it's been a very significant move and a retracement back up. And this has created some interesting opportunities on the metals here as well. I'm just going to do a quick sound check again, guys. I'm just getting a few messages through regarding sound. So just a quick check. Everybody can hear the audio okay. I'll just take a minute here just to pause and just check that you can all hear me okay. Yep, thanks, Carlos. Thanks, Adinda. Okay, fantastic. Right, so that's the US dollar index. So we'll just take a look at gold right now. So if we have a look at gold, gold has inversely been supported by this breakdown of the US dollar. What we were looking at on Wednesday, prior to the FOMC statement, was the potential to break down these 4-year lows on gold at the moment. If I go right out to a larger time frame here, we had a huge V-shaped reversal pattern, major support here just sitting at the 1,130 level, which is the 4-year low. We would have been breaking 4-year lows if we breached that level. If it was going to happen, we would expect it to happen on a significant news announcement such as the FOMC. So we were getting prepared for a potential breakdown in gold as well as a breakout to the upside here. Now we have so far found support around the 1142 zone here. You can see we've got a major trend channel going all the way back to the end of January, where we started this big downward trend on gold. You can very clearly see that, the major trend channel. So gold is at an interesting point now. It's managed to find support from Wednesday's FOMC statement. We've rallied. It's not a huge rally, not if you compare it to some of the other metals, which we'll take a look at very shortly. But nevertheless, gold is being supported at the moment. And you'll see right at the resistance channel, we have a doji form yesterday. This is the event area. We'll go and have a look at silver very shortly too, because silver has already broken out of this major trend channel. So what's very important for gold today, if it is going to have a sustained move to the upside, is that gold really needs to break and it needs to close above this major channel. That's going to be very important. So where the price is at the moment, 1,172. Gold is either going to have a failed move here, and it's just going to ricochet off resistance, and it's going to come back down within its overall trend channel, particularly if the US dollar builds momentum over the next couple of days and into next week as well. And we may just see gold rotate lower here and come back within its overall channel and ultimately break down from the 4-year lows. However, the important point here is whether gold can follow through on this move. Is it going to just find resistance here, or can it follow through? What a follow through would look like would be if we were to break out from this trend channel today, and if we would get a close above this trend channel as well, particularly if we can build up some momentum behind this. That will be very important for the gold market here. If it can close above this trend channel, that will indicate a possible new trend starting to develop, certainly in the short term, and we can then start to pick up the pace here. So that is going to be very important for today, whether we're going to get a sustained breakout. Note again, it needs to break, and not just break, close above this major trend channel, and that's where we're going to build up momentum here on gold. So that's going to be very important for the gold price today. So let me just show you how this looks on silver. So silver has already done this, and often gold and silver are very strongly correlated. So silver has already broken out of its trend channel. You can see it's starting to build momentum here to the upside. We had a nice breakout just on the FOMC statement. So we broke through this consolidation. We broke above 1578. We've been consolidating for 5 days at a very key level of support and resistance. We could have broken out in either way. We broke out for a positive move on a weak US dollar on the FOMC statement, and we can see we're building up a bit of momentum to the upside here on silver. So I see gold, if silver can continue, I see gold as the next breakout opportunity here, and you don't want to miss that. There is a nice breakout trade. You can see that very clearly here. If we just break above the weekly highs, we could be in for a good momentum breakout trade to the upside. So you definitely want to have gold on your radar this afternoon. It tends to pick up more so in the US session here as well. So we should pick up this afternoon as the US come online, and that's where you want to be taking advantage of a potential breakout trade. Copper is already on the move. We've had a really nice trade on copper since the FOMC statement. We formed a nice rejection candle just on Wednesday, and that followed through yesterday, continuing to ramp up today. And again, copper, I see potentially more upside here as well. You can see very clear trend channel on copper, which is holding at the moment. So what I want to see here as well is just some follow through on copper here and the overall metals complex. So I'd like to see this candle here just follow through, manage to break above the resistance zone here. If we can do that and really start to build up some momentum, we could be due a move all the way up to the upper resistance channel here on copper as well. So the metals overall, I would say, are at the moment looking good for breakout trades. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking at. The potential for copper today to come up and really, it may not happen just in a couple of days like this, but ultimately I'll be looking for copper to rally and come back towards the upper resistance channel here. Okay, fantastic. I'll go over some good questions coming through. We'll go over those very shortly. I'll just continue to move through the metals here. We'll also take a look at. We'll move over to platinum, then we'll look at palladium as well. So platinum at the moment, you can see we've been following a downward trending channel. So very similar across most of the metals here. They've all been in quite a strong downward trend since the end of January. We can see here platinum is coming up to test its first initial resistance zone. There is another resistance zone above this as well. Platinum is quite overextended to the downside at the moment. I don't see this as it's been the weakest of the precious metals, so rather go for the trades which have the most momentum and have already broken out first here. Often it's the first trades to break out which will have the most momentum behind them. Platinum is lagging at the moment, but I would keep an eye on platinum and see if we can get a breakout from the first trend channel, see if we get a breakout above the 1145 zone, and then it'll get very interesting. So platinum one to watch. Palladium I think is one definitely to watch as well. On the much larger time frames here, we can see major supportive channels which got retested just before the FOMC statement. You can see ultimately as we're coming towards the end of the week, we're getting support at a major trend channel going all the way back on the chart to about 3 years here, back to 2012. So palladium you want to keep an eye on as well. It's looking very solid. So you definitely want to also note the move that we've had on palladium. Okay, so that's in terms of the metals, that's what we're looking at for the short term. Again, gold really is going to be a major market that you want to watch just this afternoon. We'll have a look also now. In fact, I'll go over to the grains and then we'll look at the energies here. So I just want to show you corn. We broke down the pennant we looked at last week did break down. So we've been consolidating for about 7 days here between just support and resistance. We were looking for a resolution of this consolidation. So we're just tending to move sideways between support and resistance. Then we broke through. On Friday, we broke through the pennant. We've come down and we've had a really nice move. And I see more momentum to the downside now with corn. Very similar situation that we've had with soybeans as well. Soybeans, in fact, continues to follow this downward trending channel. So you can see, again, very clear channel here on the daily for soybeans, just ricocheting between support and resistance. It did get a retrace on the FOMC announcement. We saw a gapping of the market on corn, wheat and soybeans, but very quickly the gains got given back to the market and we saw a really nice sell-off yesterday and just a continuation within this overall trend channel on the agricultural markets. Now, we are at a decision point for wheat as well. You can see wheat is a much larger pennant which has been developing. You've got a nice supportive trend channel here, but at the same time you've got overhead resistance. So we've got a pennant formation. If you go back to corn broke down last week. Typically we do get confluence between the grains, so soybeans, corn and wheat. So wheat could be one to watch here also for a breakdown in price. So if you do trade the agricultural markets, keep an eye on wheat today, because what we could get is a breakdown in price as well. And this is what a breakdown for wheat would look like. You'd be looking for a potential for this candle to just come down. It may not happen today, but next week you'd be looking for a bearish candle and ultimately coming down to break through these swing lows as well. So that's what I'll be looking at on the wheat market as we go into next week. And then moving across to the energies. First of all, we'll have a look at Brent Crude Oil. You can see Brent get a big retracement on the FOMC statement. We've got a large surge on Brent, came up to its resistance channel here on the daily, and then it's found rejection again. Brent and WTI move very well between their channels. You can see we've just come up, hit resistance at this zone. We've got a bearish candle which formed yesterday. We've just got momentum, seems to be continuing to the downside here. You may already be in short oil. If not, I'd be looking for just a break of the weekly support here to break through the weak supports and then just have a continuation really of momentum to the downside here, as we seem to be in a very strong downward trend still on the oil. So very simply looking for a break of the weekly lows and then just a continuation down from these major levels. So that could represent a very nice continuation here for Brent. Moving over now to WTI crude oil. WTI slightly weaker as well. You can see where we're almost about to break through yesterday's low. Also got a big move to the upside just on the FOMC statement. Got a large surge and a retrace, but very quickly oil was given back its gains again. So probably some short covering on that on Wednesday when it broke out to the upside. And now we're seeing a breakdown in price again. Ultimately, if we can just take out yesterday's lows here, this is where we'll start to build up momentum again to the downside. So anybody who's gone long off this hammer on the daily, they'll probably start getting stopped out if we take out yesterday's lows, and we could see a momentum build up to the downside here again, and we could see just a move down to major support zone below. So I would look at certainly more bearish momentum for the oils and be looking for breakout trades on the metals. Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do now, that is what we're looking at in terms of the markets as we go into the US session this afternoon. So just a very quick summary for you. We are looking for breakout trades on the metals here. Gold in particular, you want to keep an eye on. Copper is already on the move and breaking out. Silver broke out from its downward trending channel. Look at gold for follow through here as well. Platinum also looking strong. Palladium is a bit of a delayed reaction, but major support on the larger time frames. We're continuing to manage trades short on both corn and soybeans here, looking for a potential breakout trade from wheat, and WTI and Brent Crude Oil, a continuation of a sell at the moment on these markets. So that is what we're looking at. Okay, fantastic. So what I'll just bring you back to the main presentation. So questions there just regarding your entries on breakouts and where to put your stop losses and where to put your entry levels. So what I would suggest, if you would like to join the Gold and Silver Club, our live trading rooms, which we have throughout the week, where we trade news announcements live as well, and you can also get access to our forums. Very simply, to join the Gold and Silver Club, our online trading room, please go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. You can also fill out our application form at this point. It is enrollment only, so just completing the enrollment form and we'll get in touch with you ASAP. I'll just show you what that enrollment form looks like. It's very straightforward. We'll just take you less than a minute to complete. So the enrollment form is here at www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, and this is how you can get access to our live trading rooms, and from there you'll get all the information just regarding our entries, our stop losses, and the signals that we are looking at, and the setups that we're looking at on a daily basis. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the chat for you all just to make it very simple there, and I'll just bring it back to the main site there. So yeah, this is the link again that you need to click to get in touch, guys. Okay, good. Right. Well, I think that's everybody's questions answered for today. As you can see, definitely there's a few setups which are lining up for this afternoon, a few continuations as well. So I wish you all a very profitable afternoon, and we shall definitely see you back here the same time next week. Okay, so good trading, guys. Have a great weekend, and look forward to hear from those of you who would like to join us on our live trading rooms. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.